So here's the thing, guys. People say selling is difficult. Yet as sales trainers, I think both Bianca and I know that this isn't necessarily the case. So why do people find it so difficult? So, Bianca, what do you think we should start with?
I think we should definitely start with the fear, because the fear seems to get everyone. And when I say everyone, even if you're a full-time salesperson, myself included, we've all had the fear. So I think if we go into the sort of psychology behind that and show you how simple it really is, so that if any of you have the fear or know what I'm talking about, you can overcome it and prevent it from affecting you in the future.
What she said. I think it's very, very important to have the right ethical attitude towards your customer. So I think for me, the biggest issue is this: ethical selling is the only selling that I think salespeople should be doing. Otherwise, for me, you're little more than a con artist. Don't take that wrong if you're doing unethical selling now, because maybe you didn't realize. Going forward, you now realize ethical selling. And that means professional selling starts with the attitude and ethos to do the right thing for the customer. And that means finding out everything about the customer and about whether or not they should be buying your product before you even start to sell it. Asking yourself, if I was in their shoes and I absolutely knew everything that I know about the benefits of my product or service, would I buy it myself? If the answer is yes, then sell the product. If the answer is no, then do some more research to find out whether or not this is the right thing for the customer. Now, a lot of people, this flies in the face of a lot of conventional sales training concepts and theory, which says, assume that the customer is going to buy. Don't stop to question whether or not they think it's right or not. Just sell, sell, sell. Personally, I'd rather not do the deal with a customer if it was the wrong thing for them, because if it is the wrong thing, they're going to turn around and ask for their money back at some point, or they're just not going to buy from you again, and they're not going to recommend you. They're not going to be telling people about the great service that they did. I had, in fact, I think one of our people on here today, yes. So somebody on this listening to this webinar today, I had a sales conversation with, and during that conversation, it was really apparent that we have a program called Level Up LinkedIn, which is where we target, we help people directly get to customers. But it became very apparent that he was not a suitable candidate for our Level Up service, and that he should do a very, very different process that wasn't billable by us, which gave us some help, but he wasn't the right client for us. And I told him so. I said, look, this isn't the right thing for you. What you need to do is X, Y, Z. And I believe that that's what they've done. So if they're not the right client, why would you want to sell to them? Why would you have that ethos of do the deal at all costs? Customer, the phrase, the customer's always right. I think the phrase should be changed to, what the customer should buy is what's right for them. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we definitely teach that everything should be customer focused. And really, how are you going to find that out? Ask the right questions. It's so important, and it is one of the simplest things to learn. And if you can nail that, then you're on the right track. I also just want to go off on a little bit of a tangent and talk about persistence in sales. I know, especially from working with some of my clients on our Level Up program, and just from being in sales pretty much my whole career in general, some people have the misconception that persistence is not good. For example, if you don't get a no, if you keep going, are you gonna piss someone off? Well, the thing is, if you're doing it with the right approach, often quite often someone will come in at the probably quite far in, it could be months down the line, it could be quite a few touch points down the line, and say, I'm so sorry I haven't got back to you. And often, more often than not, you can close a deal right there, and it can take months. In fact, you've got a really good example of this, which I think you should actually tell the group in a second. But don't be afraid, and this comes back to making assumptions. Don't be afraid to keep contacting. Obviously, you don't want to contact someone 3 times every week necessarily. It depends, actually, it depends on what you're doing. But if you're a business owner and you're contacting someone about your service, it really does depend. But before I move on, I think you should tell the story about when you left the voicemails.
Oh yeah,
that's a good example.
Okay, so at the beginning of my sales training career, so we are talking about, I don't know, 15 years ago. There was a client I wanted to work with, a large company called LexisNexis. I can name them actually because it's a client I worked with for many years. LexisNexis do legal solutions for lawyers, courts, accountants and stuff. So I was trying to get hold of the sales manager for the telesales team, and I knew who he was, but he was a busy man. So I would ring and leave a message. First time, this is 15 years ago. The world was slightly different. So we had telephones, but we didn't have, not everybody had mobile phones, for example. Email wasn't so prevalent. Certainly there wasn't all the additional things like LinkedIn and everything else to get hold of him. It was very much an old school process. So I'd leave a voicemail. Voicemail was, hi Stuart, Adam Caplan here from Set Your Attitude. I'd like to ring and talk to you about our sales training. Gave it a week, left my number, of course, no answer. So I rang up on a Friday, said, good morning, Stuart, Adam Caplan here, Set Your Attitude. Just before the weekend, I thought I might like to give you a call to see if you're interested in having a chat about sales training. Hope you have a good weekend. I'm going to be playing a bit of golf this weekend. Hopefully the weather's good. Take the dog for a walk and one thing or another. I'll give you a call on Tuesday. Probably about 11 o'clock. Have a good weekend. Tuesday at 11 o'clock, I'd ring and leave a message because I wouldn't get through to him. Hi Stuart, Adam Caplan here from Set Your Attitude, talked about sales training. I had a great weekend. I shot 91, wasn't great, had a couple of good shots. I had a great weekend, went out for dinner, blah, 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 blah. The dog had a good walk, forgot to take a bag, everything other. Hope you have a good week. I've got some interesting stuff going on this week. I'd like to have a chat with you. I'll give you a call on Friday. On Friday afternoon, I'd ring and say, hi Stuart, it's Adam Caplan here. Look forward to yet another weekend. No golf this weekend. Might be going for a walk or whatever. And I created this weekly phone call. And in the end, it became every Friday at about 3 o'clock. Have a good weekend. And then I would call on a Monday, tell them how my weekend went. Friday, Monday, Friday, Monday. This went on for a long time, quite a few weeks. And then I would call back and say, hi, Stuart, Adam Caplan, good weekend. Listen, really excited. My handicap's coming down, nicely, etc. Going to see a film maybe on the weekend. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm going to call back next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Hopefully speak to you then. On Tuesday, the following week, I get a phone call from Stuart. He said, Adam, hello, Stuart. Is this a convenient time to talk? The first question I asked him, he said, sort of. I'm not going to be in Wednesday morning. I went, oh, okay. When would be a good time to talk? He went, well, can you come in next Thursday, whatever day it was? I went, yeah, great. That's absolutely kind. What would you like to talk about? He said, I want to talk about how are you going to do sales training, how you're going to teach my salespeople to be as persistent as you without annoying me. And I would like you to ring anyway and let me know how your weekend went, but not on Wednesday because I won't be there. Anyway, long and short, I worked with them for 5 years before he retired and moved on, and they took everything overseas. And it wasn't persistence in terms of pushing. I just didn't give up. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lesson there.